Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is another episode of the Double Feature Podcast. If this is your first time here, please do us a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, click the bell, all that. We do this every chance we get. Don't want to make any promises. But we got quite a bit to talk about. We've had an eventful week, to say the least. We've got movies, we got show premieres, we got trailers, we got announcements. We got so much to cover. Please, if you want to be in the know for all things like pop culture, movies, TV, all that, please hit that sub and click that bell. But over the weekend we had D23, and then yesterday we had Lanterns. But before that, we watched End of Oak Street, and in terms of the D23 isms of it all, could we talk about all the like Pixar announcements? Sure, but like I don't know. I don't think I don't think that needs to be discussed at this moment until we get obviously further into more development in some of those things, because a lot of it is just like concept art and like announcing that it exists.
Like a little flash of images of what it might look like.
They did show or release at least a special look at Doomsday. We did put that on the channel. We reacted to it. So if you guys are watching this and did not know we did that, please go ahead and check that out. But we're going to go ahead and start in the first topic that we have. VisionQuest got its first trailer released. Obviously, premiered at D23, then it dropped online, and I kind of regret not reacting to this, because I guess we went into it very lukewarm, which understandably so. We haven't heard like much about the show, and it's been in development for so long that like I thought it was low-key.
A couple months ago, I thought this show
probably
was
gonna be a dumpster fire.
Like I didn't even know that this was a live action series.
Oh, you thought it was animated?
Just a couple months ago. Yeah, I don't know, because I genuinely just did not know anything like about the show. So I was just like, oh, VisionQuest, like it's part of that. Like, what if Marvel Zombies? Like, oh, it's in I was just, I don't know why that's where I was putting it.
Yeah, this got announced in late 2022, and like we're just now getting it, and like, you know, very odd too. It is odd timing wise, because we're looking at the MCU, you know, if we step back, it seems like, you know, they're cracking down on the Disney Plus content, and they're shifting more back to the blockbusters, to the movie franchise, as we look at it as. And as they're doing that, like, they're canceling Wonder Man season 2. And so we're thinking, oh, they're really putting a halt on. But somehow VisionQuest makes it through after 4 years of development. Like, that's
why I feel like, because it was still a part of that era of Disney where they were kind of going all in on the Disney Plus shows, and it seems like this is just another one of the shows that they're kind of just like, you know, saying bye to, kind of thing, like before we stop with all the Disney Plus stuff. Like, it seems like this and Daredevil Born Again will be like the last remnants of that stuff, really.
But I mean, as for the trailer, thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it for one, it looks good. Like it doesn't look like,
it looks great.
You know, you can kind of tell. No hate to like the Ironhearts and the like Born Agains, and the when you can tell things,
and the She-Hulks and the Miss Marvels, and
things got rushed, or like it wasn't completely
Moon Knight
there. Yeah. And this looks pretty good. Visually, the people attached to it, pretty good as well. It's got some good directors. The show creator's good. And it seems to be this show where you know, Vision is, you know, coming to terms with what he's gone through, and learning those experiences, while also clearly being kind of a family meeting sort of situation with all the sentient AIs and his son, and a bunch of, it's very, very familial. In the trailer, they're like the generational trilogy. That was funny. I can't like
Said,
I
look,
had to
man,
laugh the
look, bro.
first time I saw
I
that.
ain't seen Agatha. Word on the street is this solid.
Yeah, I hear
But
it's pretty good.
It's
a generational.
Generational trilogy.
I don't know if it's generational.
I mean, let's be fair. There's some things people out here are calling generational that isn't even fucking close to generational. So I can't be mad. And who knows? Maybe this show is just that good. The trilogy becomes generational after this show. We're like, damn, bro, that trilogy was generational, bro. I know WandaVision was good and Agatha was good, but VisionQuest really made that trilogy generational, dog. Like, okay.
Yeah,
I thought this was great, though.
Kooky, has a buddy dynamic with Vision and his father, Ultron.
Finally, you got like Jarvis in there.
Like finally he's back. It's been, we're talking since it dropped. We're talking since Age of Ultron. People were like, when is he going to be back? Finally he's back. It's him.
Since
James
Quicksilver
Spader's
dying
back.
to bullets.
You didn't see that coming. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the trailer. What did you think about this trailer?
I thought this was great. I mean, this not only from a like conceptual standpoint looks pretty fucking amazing, if I'm being quite honest here. Like some of the visuals here and the visual effects and just the like production design, I'm like, okay, this has got a very unique like aesthetic to it. Kind of like it's almost something between like Gatsby era high fantasy, like I don't even know, but it just looks so good. And I think Paul Bettany is just the perfect lead for something like this. Like I think it's that low key kind of like feel to it for me, where it's like, okay, I like the Loki character. Tom Hiddleston was good in the first Avengers and the Thor movies as this, god of mischief. But in this new setting, in this different background, that's where a Tom Hiddleston really starts to, show you, how good he can really be, other than just, this villain and whatnot. And I feel like I get the same vibes here. Like I always like Paul Bettany. I've seen Paul Bettany in other things. I always liked him as Vision.
Stretch his wings too much.
Yeah, he was kind of just like an AI sentient, and this is where you can put him in a different setting, put him in these scenarios, and he's gonna eat it up. He's a phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
And so like he's just gonna do, and with Spader right next to him, to me, I'm like, this is like my Wonder Man that got canceled.
Yeah, it's giving Wonder Man.
I already know I'm gonna love these two by the end of this series. I am curious with
the whole Tommy of it all, though. That's where I'm kind of like, so he's created this world where all these AI beings are human. Tommy is, now to our knowledge, we don't know. I didn't watch Agatha. I don't know if he's in there. I don't think he is, but I don't know.
I don't think he is.
Is Tommy real?
I think he's real.
Right.
In the way that I think in Agatha, Wiccan is real. And they seem to be close to each other's age, not like the same age, but like, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, the casting seemed to be close in age. So like, I could imagine this being real and it kind of being that connective thread of Wiccan and Agatha, Wanda
if this
stuff.
even leads to anything. If like, are we gonna see Tommy? I mean, he looks nothing.
I like the premise here. I like the premise here with Vision kind of
like.
No, yeah, totally. But I like I was saying, I like the Vision here. I like the premise with Vision, wanting to figure out himself, and I like the different scenarios that they have him in, and again, like the different setting. And throughout this trailer, when he's talking about and like, having dialogue on like, who am I, and like I was an Avenger and stuff like that. I don't know why stuff like that just kind of warms my heart. Like stuff like that, it kind of just brings me back to the glory days. Like just seeing Vision with the Thor's hammer. Like I'm like, damn, I remember
Vision in a while.
I remember back when this was like the craziest moment of all time to me. Vision
when he picked that shit up casually
with Mjolnir and was dude. But yeah, it looks great. I don't know how many like episodes it'll be. Maybe probably like 8 if I had to guess.
Event.
Oh, I hope not. dude.
I think they're done with
But
that
yeah,
format, hopefully.
it looks really, really good. And going into Doomsday and Secret Wars and stuff like that, this would be a good little appetizer. Not to say that like it'll have implications for those movies, but just getting back
It
in the
can
mix
add
of things,
to the momentum.
yeah, getting back into the momentum of things doing better, things, projects being a bit more consistent and stuff like that. So I I like the way this looks. I'm down for this quest with Vision, right? And
You're trying today. You
look,
are.
James Spader, look, James Spader's Ultron.
They're
This is
like,
about to
we
be a
have to
knockout.
save
This is
budget,
about to be a
guys.
knockout of the park, man. Let me tell you something. This is about to be, and I do
Yeah.
wonder how much of the like superheroics and like sci-fi Vision
We
stuff
see
we'll see in
Vision in
here.
this trailer looking way more comic accurate. He's like green.
Yeah, he has like the collar.
He's
with the
like,
yellow.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it. I like
But
it.
again, but like I was saying, I wonder how much of that stuff we'll see. But at the same time, I can appreciate that this trailer is making me leave with like, even if I don't get as much of that stuff as I want to see, I could see myself, really buying into the
falling in
quest,
love with
the characters, him and Spader. Like I could really just see that. So again, I really have like no complaints about this trailer. Like I wasn't that hyped for this. I didn't know anything about it. It dropped and I was just thoroughly impressed and really
I'm
engaged
not
with
like
this trailer what I saw.
crazy hype for it, but I'm kind of like, is it weekly?
I mean, we don't know. I mean, it probably would be though.
So,
Or like the first 3 episodes.
I could
drop
look at the
first or
trailer because
something.
usually when it's a binge dump, it'll say stream all episodes on the date. Let's check real quick. Live on the pod, mid recording.
It says yes, VisionQuest will be releasing its remaining episodes weekly on Wednesdays following its premiere on October 14th. So
they really
8 episodes too.
right before Doomsday.
8 episodes too. So yeah, I'm down for it. I again, I haven't seen Agatha all along, but again, I like Vision. I like what they did with WandaVision, and dude, I was even telling you this. I was like, the trailer was so damn good that it makes me want to go watch Agatha all along just to be caught up here. And I think that's a good thing. Like that's kind of the point. Does it have
that much to do with it?
I don't know. I just know that it's part of the
generational trilogy
thing. It's part of the generational trilogy. So I just know that. So I'm kind of like, it kind of motivates me to be like, okay, maybe I'll check it out. I hear people say it's good, leading up to VisionQuest and whatnot. But yeah, I thought this looked great.
Yeah. Same here. I think it looks really good. I like the look of it, the people behind it. And, it seems like Marvel's got some momentum. So surely they wouldn't drop something that, like, fucks with that. Like, honestly, if this show was bad, I feel like they would just shelve it, to be honest. So that's why I'm thinking, like, I think that instills even more confidence.
I mean, but at the same time, we could have said the same. Jesus Christ. But at the same time, we could have said the same thing about Ironheart, like, to be honest. And like they went through with it, finished
but
it.
that was early last year. Remember, the momentum started with Thunderbolts.
But I'm saying it was a part, but it was still, but it was still the remnants. At that point, when they released Ironheart, they were like months before Ironheart even released. They were like, I was telling you, like they're clearly moving away from the Disney Plus model, and it feels like that's what I'm saying. The things that they made out.
They know,
and I feel like Ironheart was that. I mean, Ironheart was worked on for a long time though, and I feel like so was this. So we'll see, but
yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But you all tell us in the comments below your thoughts on the VisionQuest trailer. The X-Men have been cast. Well, a lot of them at least. It's definitely not all of them, but over D23, we got a bunch of announcements on, or at least updates on the X-Men cast. Obviously, they brought out Sadie Sink first to congratulate her on the Spider-Man stuff and officially announce her as Jean Grey now. And then, we got everyone else, which was Christopher Abbott as Professor X, Charles Xavier, We got what was it? Is it Maya Boyd? Maya Boyd as Storm. We got Indy Never Ready as our Rogue. We got, what else was there? I'm like blanking.
Adam Driver, Mr. Sinister, Kit Connor is going to be Scott Summers, Cyclops, and then obviously why am I forgetting her name? Emma Frost.
Samara Weaving, yes.
Samara Weaving, yeah. I don't know why I was forgetting her name. But
we
yeah,
talked about that on the last pod.
Yeah, we did. But yeah, them other than what's her name? That was already Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. That was already casted. But yeah, those are all the new ones.
Yeah, we got some updates. Obviously, we'll go through each of these. We talked about Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. That seems to be the most overall consensus. Like, we see the.
I mean, that's just the cast that you can just see, immediately.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, she's got
this. It's one of those ones that you can just immediately kind of low key. That's me with Adam Driver's Mr. Sinister too. I'm like, that's.
Oh no, yeah, for sure.
That's a banger.
He's very theatrical. Has the gravitas for Mr. Sinister.
Kind of looks like him too. I mean, to be honest, a little bit with the stash and beard, but yeah. I'll say this: seeing them up on the stage, like I'm at D23 and shit. No, I wasn't at D23. But seeing them all up on the stage, I love what they're doing, what they're going for here. There's a real vision to it all. Like, it doesn't feel like even though you can look at the Indy Never Ready casting and be like, okay, they might have just picked her up just to hop on the wave of Obsession and stuff like that. It still fits. Like, I'm looking at them all on the stage and I'm like, I can see her as Rogue. Like, there's something so humble, and it's probably the fact that she's like not as big. And I mean, I know Maya Boyd is just in theater, but like something about them all on the stage, and He Never Ready had like a humble feel to herself on the stage. And then you see Maya Boyd, absolute queen on the stage. I'm like, God, it's that great Storm presence right there. Samara Weaving comes out. She already knows that she's Emma Frost. Like, she just
she's
like
knows. The most high profile.
What really surprised me, Kit Connor next to the rest of the cast. I was like, okay, I knew Kit Connor like could do it and like he could get it, but like up there, he looks broad. He looks kind of like
next to like 5,
right,
6 and
right
below.
But this is the cast he's gonna be standing next to. But at the same time, I also think that's just what he looked like on stage. Like, he had a kind of like a broad sturdiness to him. Like, he didn't look as like soft and like, like pudgy. Not pudgy.
No, he's not pudgy. He's
not pudgy,
guy.
but like not pudgy. Yeah. But I'm saying in some of the pictures and stuff, he looks very soft, very like boyish. On that stage, he had a little bit of presence up there. I'm like, okay, bro, I see you. And then obviously Sadie Sink, Jean Grey. But yeah, I think on stage it all looks great. Jake Schreier sitting there with them. Christopher Abbott, by the way, I totally like that casting as Professor X. People may not see it right now.
Very interested, I think.
Well, when you think of the implications of like, how this X-Men film is gonna go about when it comes to, the dramatic aspects, and like you look at the castings that they're casting, it's like, people with range that are like really gonna be able to give you something, but at a young, uprising
That's
age.
What I'm curious about is like,
and it's like, to me, when I see like Storm, the theatrical actress, and Indy Never Ready was just in like the biggest movie of the year that's not a blockbuster, and then you got like Sadie Sink, who's just in Stranger, and it's just like the talent all around. Adam Driver, I'm like, I totally understand that Professor X casting. So people may not see it right now, but I just think, it's when it comes down to it, people are going to be convinced
a lot. So like, I'm like cool with it.
Yeah, and he has like an interesting vibe to him too.
But honestly, after they cast him, I'm like, maybe this Professor X has a bit of edge to him. Maybe
I wonder what they saw, because when I saw that, I was like, they saw something. That's all I could think in my head. I'm like,
that's what I feel about Maya Boyd is.
Yeah, same thing with that one. Yeah,
surely you would not surely you would not cast this much of an unknown if she wasn't phenomenal
at this character
for the role. If
This is
she
like
wasn't
an A-tier
genuine
character. Like
my only like what I'm iffy on is the odd announcement that Kevin Feige made during it, which is they're all meeting for the first time. Don't know about that one. I'm like, this is
I
that's
think it could
giving
be,
me some like whoa, like.
I mean, no, I don't think it.
Like
I think
none of them screen tested together. Like not any.
But
pair.
that's what I'm.
Like.
But that's what I'm saying. He never said that. He never said none of these people I've ever met. He said it's the first time they're all meeting. Together. Yeah. And so it could be like some people screen test it because I don't need everybody to screen test with each other. Like some of that stuff is gonna play. But some certain characters definitely do, and I feel like
think every
it's a
Avenger
case of
screen tested with each other.
I feel like it's a case of some screen tested with others, and some
maybe
didn't.
Sadie and Kit definitely.
Like, I can see Sadie, Kit, maybe Storm. I could maybe see because Storm feels like a inside like that doesn't feel like something last minute you would just dump on people. Oh, we like Maya Boyd, and like that feels like you've been liking it. You've been like. I feel like with somebody who's at that caliber of a character and somebody who's only done theater, it's not just like, oh, you gave us a good audition. It's a hey, we want to see you back.
You're perfect.
She's gonna have to.
No one else.
She's gonna have to keep going through it. She's not like she's not at the kind of status that's like, oh yeah, you got it. No. Like we're gonna invite you back for another one kind of thing. So I could see that going on. It's obviously Adam Driver shares like a video of him at the
It was so awkward.
I don't know where it's at. Adam Driver's just awkward. I'm just let you know that right now.
But I just think all these things have been very awkward. Like at Comic-Con, the Deadpool thing was like also awkward.
You thought it was awkward?
And they did something else. They did something else at Comic-Con that was like
the Deadpool thing wasn't awkward at all.
RDJ was doing his voice out there, and it was like, and this one was like Adam Driver came in. Apparently, he said. I saw the video now, and he said, "I'm playing Magneto," and then he went, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, you might." They're nice there, like motherfuckers. Loki will get excited for that, like.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that was just tease is coming. Magneto's coming. I think that was, and obviously to joke around with the fact that he was. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was. What?
No, obviously, no one would be surprised if Magneto was in an X-Men movie.
I think Magneto's probably going to be in this movie, and I think you've been already having like casting rumors and stuff of Magneto for like over a year now. I think he's going to be in
terms
movie.
of Kevin Feige going out there saying, this isn't everyone. We for sure know Beast is part of this because Charles Melton even came out and was like, "Yeah, I was up for that, blah blah blah, it didn't work out or whatever, something like that." So Beast is like,
no, he didn't say. What are you talking about?
No, he said something like he like.
All Charles Melton said was, if you somebody said, hey, like, how do you feel about the Beast rumors and the Beast casting? He said it depends on what day if you ask me, but all I'm gonna say is I like Jake Schreier. I like what he's been doing, and I look forward to working with him again if that chance arises, kind of thing. He never alluded to like not being Beast. It was more like a.
But I think
you can clearly tell he's had talks about
Beast
it
existing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's for sure. It seems like they're going with that OG lineup with a couple changes and a couple like added peppered in there.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna get a casting for Iceman.
Yeah, Bobby. I think the cast looks good. We got to talk about the elephant in the room. The Indy Never Ready as the Rogue. Listen, I'm not even that crazy like against it because like I think she's a capable actress to do it. It's more so when you look at the whole cast in the grand scheme of things that it does feel kind of stunty. It does feel a little, yeah, because she's like the it person right now. It does feel like that when you look at someone like a Maya Boyd as Storm. That feels so inspired and specific compared to like, yes, I get that. But what I will say is like
it's
the people
like
hating
when
on
they
it
casted
just because it
Pierre
wasn't.
as Jon Stewart. That's kind of how it feels to me. Except Indy
What?
Never Ready is like way bigger.
I feel like
But it's kind of
everyone was like, oh, Aaron Pierre should be Jon Stewart. I feel like a bunch of people were like, that he looks just like, you know who would be good as
no.
Jon
I'm talking
Stewart?
about the actual casting, like making the casting decision was like
Oh,
Aaron
like kind
Pierre
of
looked like he was fan casted a lot. He was just in like this big not big, but like like this Rebel Ridge movie that's kind of trending and like I think they made that announcement at like the perfect time. It's kind of like that, but a little bit like Any Never Ready's a bit more like on an upwards trend. Like she's really, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna compare Obsession at Rebel Ridge, but like I could see why you would think that it does kind of feel like you were
it
finding
just feels the most
you
like,
were finding who
I don't
to cast
think
her
you
as.
casted her
It
because
wasn't.
she was perfect as
Are we
Rogue.
gonna cast Indy Never Ready? It was.
Yeah.
Who are we gonna cast Indy Never Ready as?
Yeah, I don't think
like,
they saw Indy Never Ready and was like, she's the only person that can play this Rogue. No.
Yeah, no.
So. But I do think they were like, she can play Rogue, this version of Rogue. Let's just cast her as Rogue because she's huge.
And she looks. It looks good. Like seeing the whole cast up there, I'm like I see that
because I don't really imagine Rogue as a Latina, but like that's me. Like, so I do gotta see her in the get up and everything.
I get Indy Never Ready is Latina, but I don't know why we're acting like she looks super Latina. This is like saying X23.
I don't look at her and think Rogue
looks Latina. Like X23. No, Daphne Keene is mixed with like European and like Spanish descent or whatever. But like it doesn't look like it. Like I'm not like she looks Latina up there. I think it's just that it.
And I think
I like the way she looks up there. She feels like, to me, like it felt like a humble girl up there, where there are other stars who like
I'm happy for her, especially as someone who has watched all 4 seasons of Superman Lois since the dawn.
I can see why people wouldn't see it like right now. And I'm not saying I fully see it right now. I'm just saying like give it some time, and seeing them like all up there, seeing the whole cast up there, I'm like, I can kind of see the vision. Jake Schreier up there, that whole cast, the logo. I'm like,
to add to that, everyone's doing like these fan arts, and everyone keeps using the X-Men Evolution version of Rogue. With Indy Never.
Oh yeah.
And that makes me curious. I'm like, oh, will they go with like the
then why was it Jenna Ortega casted?
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, oh, are they gonna go like a gothic Rogue and stuff like that, or an emo Rogue? And I'm also like, just the prospect of this.
That's true. I wonder.
Just because the prospect of this cast is so interesting to me, because you look at that cast and you don't immediately think X-Men because they're so young.
Yeah.
And then you think, oh, so what kind of X-Men movie is this going to be? And then you look at the director. And I don't think they're attaching Jake Schreier to like this fucking like Avengers level movie. And so I'm like, what kind of X-Men movie? It's very it just seems like such an angle to the X-Men, and I'm so curious to see, as this obviously develops, what that is. What's the story? What's the
me too.
What they're going at it from. And obviously I trust the team behind it. They're bringing back the beef writers. You got Jake Schreier, who is more than a competent director. He excels at the character work, at the story.
I mean, that cast is like, to me, it looks so good.
Looks very promising.
And the craziest part is it's a young cast. They're all great performers for their age.
Oh, like, absolutely.
There's some people up there you could say like aren't as good as others, but for their age, all of them are like kind of like surpassing everybody.
Weakest, there are like what? Kit Connor. You're doing something pretty good.
Theatrical actress, and Maya Boy, like that no one knows. Like
you're cooking pretty good. But yeah, those are.
And then we don't talk about it enough, but like the Adam Driver and I'm forgetting his name, Professor X, Christopher Abbott. The Adam Driver, Christopher Abbott casting like almost give it this like it gives it this like legitimacy that's like, okay, you have a bunch of great young talent, and then you have the befitting like older talent that's really,
The seasoned.
experienced, seasoned, great, phenomenal performance right there to back them up. Look, one thing's for sure. This is gonna be a well-performing movie. Like that. I don't think anybody is gonna
Oh yeah,
question
Jake
that come
Schreier's
when it's
he's
time
a
to
great
do this
director
thing.
too. He's
Like
gonna
it's
pull great
it's looking like
performances.
it's gonna be like that. But you're right. I'm curious to see what they do. Like what they go with, because
What's
you
the
bring up
angle?
like the
Because
young version, the
yeah,
X-Men Evolution version of Rogue, and I'm like, how do you, even if you wanted to go there, if you wanted to do that version of Rogue, and then at some point get to like the more classical Southernist version of Rogue, I'm like, how would you even do that?
make
Or
that,
how would you make
or
this
do you
different to
want that
get
emo
there?
rogue to just grow in that way?
Right, in
Like
their own
that's
way. Right. Yeah. I'm curious about it too, but what it
yeah. I'm
looks like
liking the
in the
cast
announcement, I'm like, dude,
for the most
this
part. I can't
brings
wait
me
to
back to
see
like the gold
who
days
plays like
of
Beast
Marvel.
and
Like,
anyone else in this. And yeah,
yeah, that's
I'm really
another
looking
thing
forward
too.
to the
Like,
X-Men.
this not even it, bro. Like, we're
Yeah.
probably gonna hear at least 5 more, like, not big, but like, sizable castings in this movie that are gonna get announced. I wonder when, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. I like it though.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the whole like seeing everyone up there. Really nice. They all seem like just good young people, and I hope that
They don't seem too TikTok brained,
yeah, I
so
just hope
that's good.
this is this seems very good for everyone, and a lot of these people are getting some pretty big breaks. Like Maya Boyd, huge. Like we're
I hope
talking like
everything just is smooth
really.
sailing.
We had a
I
conversation
I,
about
I
this
would
when it
hate
got
for
announced.
this to,
She's the most unknown ever
yeah.
to play a main character, a main role in the MCU. Your camera's a bit blurry, by the way. Um, yeah, to do that. So like this is huge for her, and obviously as someone who has seen indie, and obviously she has came out recently and been like haven't been getting much work. This is huge for her. In one
Yeah.
summer, she went from
She came out talking about like how much she got paid. She's basically telling Hollywood like,
yeah, like
I'm in like the biggest movie right now, but it doesn't feel like it.
I'm scraping by,
Like,
I'm scraping by. And yeah, she's like, a lot of these people are getting a big break, and that's great to see. I'm just so excited for this. Everything past Secret Wars, I'm gonna just straight up say it. Like I'm just like the universe is gonna reset, they're gonna buckle back down, and
it feels like they're a lot more honed in, a lot more focused, not on like
Fox
producing content.
merged back with Marvel. It's like we've been waiting. First, it was like, when's the Fantastic Four?
Deadpool Wolverine was like the
X-Men.
first like real taste of it, where it's like, okay, like we got Wolverine and Deadpool here and stuff like that, but now we're getting into the nitty gritty of like being able to own the IP and like do what you want with it and really get flexible with it, kind of like when they first acquired Star Wars, how it felt. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this goes, but it makes me really excited. It gives me those like old school MCU chills where I'm just like,
the cast very much.
I can't wait to hear more.
I'm looking forward to hear more about the project, what it's about, all of that. But you guys tell us in the comments below what you all think about the cast choices for the upcoming X-Men movie. The end of Oak Street we saw last week, and doesn't seem to be doing the best in terms of the box office.
Really?
It only made like I could be wrong. This could be just domestic, but I could be. Yeah, go ahead and look it up. Did it make 18 million worldwide?
No, it made 18 million domestically.
Okay, how much did it make worldwide? It couldn't be that
worldwide
much.
47. It's not that bad.
It's
not
more than that.
Good.
Needs more than that.
Needs more than that. That is a great way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. We saw End of Oak Street. We're very different on this movie. Now, I didn't like fucking. Oh my god, top 10 movie of the year for me. No, but like, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. You seem to not have a good time with it as someone who likes. I guess you don't like the Jurassic World movies. You like the last one. Like I guess you don't really like those.
I mean, I like the first Jurassic World. It's not that good, but I like it for what, like, I like, to a degree, I like all these um movies with my prehistoric puppies in them to a certain degree. Like if you show me them, I'm gonna like it. Like I'm not gonna be like, ugh, it's dinosaur in front of my face. Like,
Oh,
ugh.
that fucking
You could just
Velociraptor.
you could just get out of you could just get out of my face. But don't get me wrong, there are definitely moments like that where I'm just like, this design is so
Mm-hmm.
shit. Get out of my face.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say we're divided on it, because I don't think you were like super high on it. I think you even walked out of the theater and you were like, I wanted to like that more,
I
right?
did. None like it was underwhelming. Just like I did for some
You
reason expect
expected to,
just
yeah.
another gear, just another gear in like another pep in the step. But overall, I just found it really enjoyable. I think you know, I'm here for the David Robert Mitchell glaze. You know, I think what he did with It Follows, one of my favorite horror movies of like this century. And then he followed that up with like indie underrated movie called Under the Silver Lake with Andrew Garfield, which is very weird, but I admire so much. It's no It Follows, but you know, seeing his trajectory, the last thing I expected was like this Spielbergian dinosaur blockbuster movie from
Spielbergian,
him.
J.J. Abrams vibe to it a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't
too.
expect him to do that, and you know, I found his touch in this movie specifically, you know, it really added, you know, the movie looks, you know, very similar to his past work with some minor changes, obviously, but he's using effective ways in showing the horror of this situation that happens, but also just staging certain sequences. He's not just showing off a bunch of fucking oneers or a bunch of fucking big long takes, or like he's using them sparingly and he's creating tension in certain ways. And I really admired that. I really admired the backdrop. The movie's not perfect. Does it have like kind of a couple too many subplots going on for its own good? Like, yeah, like I think this movie could have, I think the most frustrating
It is an
part
hour
is,
and a half, and there's like 3 different
it
subplots.
is. And I think the most frustrating part of this movie is it's that saying where you watch a movie and you can see the better movie in it, where you strip out some things, you clean it up a bit more, and it's you know, more focused. Because I think when I look at my positives for the movie, it's the family, it's their dynamic with each other, it's how much you start caring about their links. But once it starts getting outside of that with, you know, the boy and the bullies or the girl and the neighbor, like,
Don't even get me started on that shit.
you know, I think we should have kept the neighbors to a minimum. To the guy from Babylon and fucking the boys, I think you know, give him more screen time. Like, we should have gave him more screen. He's always funny in everything. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed
He's
it.
always panicking and sweating.
It's also like I didn't expect it. Honestly, when I saw the trailers, I'm like, oh, this is a very like classic dinosaur. But it's a bit more like Twilight Zone-y. It's a bit more like sci-fi a little bit than I
there's
thought it would
there's some
be.
sci-fi elements.
And I
to
really
it, yeah.
like that. And I think Anne Hathaway's having just a phenomenal year, and she delivers a great performance here as well. Like, once again. And yeah, I just thought, you know, in terms of the dinosaur movies, not the highest bar, to say the least. But I thought this was very enjoyable. It gave me really, when I saw the trailer and the concept, I'm like, town gets transported, dinosaurs invade the town. I don't know if I was expecting like Oscar anything level from it, but it gave me what I wanted in like a well executed enough way where emotions hit, it's thrilling. Sure, does it kind of, you know, linger on sometimes, or some things are a bit awkward? Sure, but overall, I really enjoyed my time with it. You can give your thoughts though, because we can talk about this more, obviously. But yeah, just give your quick thoughts, I guess, on the end of Oak Street.
Look, I really wanted to like this movie. I mean, I was going in. I remember even telling my brother, I was like, when I first saw the end of Oak Street, when I first saw the end of Oak Street trailer, I was kind of lukewarm on it. I was kind of like, okay, whatever. It wasn't until I saw the trailer in IMAX that I was like, okay, I don't know. And I think it was like a new trailer too that had played. And I was like, okay, like I really like the vibe of this. Like I get it now. And as more and more footage started coming out, I was like, okay, like this like could be pretty cool. But yeah, I think the case of like there's a much, much better movie in this movie is very, very strong here. And I just look, I mean,
Your camera
I
is still
agree.
blurry. I don't know why it's doing that. It's so weird.
Okay, look, I agree. Anne Hathaway is having a great year. Um, is her performance in this movie good? Yeah, but like I feel like it's only amplified by how important, I guess, her character is. Like I feel like it very much amplifies her performance, her being, at the head of it all. But I mean, when it comes to the dinosaur stuff, never have I been so unenthralled by dinosaur stuff going on. Um I don't remember the last time I saw, and look, I've watched Jurassic World Dominion, Fallen Kingdom, some of these, bad movies that involve these animals in them, but never have I ever felt like they were such a non-threat than this movie. I think this movie completely made I mean, and it's quite ironic when you think about the premise of the movie being kind of this horrifying, survival of your neighborhood that just turned prehistoric, and you're just basically trying to survive and not get eaten or killed by any of these dinosaurs. But it truly felt like none of them were really threatening, probably because they were behaving like horror movie villains. Like they were like there when the movie needed them to be there, and they were not anywhere to be found whenever the movie's not doing anything with them. And it's like they'll do things like show people in the back getting eaten by a dinosaur and things like that. And I guess that kind of pulled me out of the movie a lot of the time, because when a movie is so focused in, you know, it's about that, that survival of these animals, I want to be able to to feel that,
That's
feel
the
the tension
premise.
in
I wouldn't
that.
say that's what the movie's about, though.
And I feel like I had some of it early on, like in the first half of this movie, I could feel some of the tension. I especially like the build up to it all happening, like with the kid like seeing the stuff flashing outside, and then the prehistoric planet there. And I like the slow build up to it all. I just think once you get there, they start to oversaturate you with these like dinosaurs that are just like roaming the neighborhood eating people, and it doesn't look very like real a
Is
lot.
it because
so
the way it's
so
filmed? It's not filmed like realistic.
maybe, because
Because
that is another thing, I don't really get a sense of scale
I
to
do
anything,
think
any of the animals in this movie, besides maybe that like big ass snake looking thing.
hmm Yeah, I
But
will
even that
say
one felt very like CG. Like the whole time I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is like so CG. Like
I
like,
didn't
and
feel
it's
that at all. I thought it looked so good. Like it looked so, every time we saw. I
okay.
think it was so fleshy, and you can almost touch. You can almost like what it feels like. Like exactly what it feels like, and it's like bumpy, and it's
I
also quiet as fuck. That's what made it so eerie. Is like you're not hearing it
it's
creak anything.
it's
It's like
not quiet as fuck. The movie is this is what I mean when I talk about these animals behaving like horror movie villains. It's not quiet. The movie said, "Hey, it's time for this animal to be so quiet that it goes from upstairs all the way to
yeah,
downstairs."
that made it
This month,
eerie.
this,
Yes, that
this
made it eerie.
no, that made it eerie in that sense, but it also made it uber unrealistic to me. Like I'm
Talk
just
about
like, this
unrealistic
is
and
okay, but right, and I understand we're talking about unrealistic in a dinosaur movie, but again, when a lot of your movie is hinging on the dinosaurs being scary and the
mm-hmm.
tension of having to survive a neighborhood being turned into, this dinosaur wasteland and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. I think that stuff matters. I think
Yes,
you
and that's
do
where I
have to
wanted to
have them
get
feel
into
like real
my.
threatening animals.
Listen, I'm
Like,
a David. Obviously, I'm glazing David Robert Mitchell, but I do think he wasn't the right director for this movie.
I
And
mean, there's
here's
literally a
why.
moment where they're surrounded by like fucking 6 different dinosaurs on a rooftop, and it completely feels like act scared, guys, and like nobody's there to direct that there's 6 fucking dinosaurs there, and they're like they need to hurry up. It feels like it's almost just like act scared, there's dinosaurs around. It's like the directing and the way that some of these like scenes where there's supposed to be tension, some of the way some of them play out,
Mm-hmm.
it just feels so like it just feels like there wasn't enough there, whether it be like the performances or actually what's going on, because there's multiple times where like a dinosaur is in the vicinity but nothing is happening, and it's just like this like slow build up
Like
moment to
knowing where
like,
to put them in the integration of the dinosaurs.
yeah,
That's where I was
it's
gonna get to my point of. I don't think David Robert Mitchell was the best director for this, and I think the reason is when you look at when the movie works the most, it's when it's a horror movie. When it becomes the blockbuster, David Robert Mitchell isn't that. He's not gonna shoot an action sequence or a dinosaur sequence that needs to be blockbustery in the best ways, right? We talk about, let's bring up Jurassic World Rebirth, which obviously I don't like as much as this movie. But you look at the spectacle sequences of it, and it's shot in a way where even if you don't give a fuck about any of the characters or anything, there's like a weight. There's a weight when someone gets dragged. There's like a speed. There's a weight to it, and that's because obviously you got to mind like Gareth Edwards behind there, envisioning
got a bigger
where,
budget, much bigger
well,
budget
yeah,
too.
you're knowing where these dinosaurs are going to be placed and how fast they're going to move and all these things, and I do think the movie excels when it's you get moments of dinosaurs in the back, or like when one's creeping up, like that's where the movie excels. But when we're looking at full sequences of like running away from dinosaurs, it kind of just feels like you said, like, okay guys, run, keep running, we'll just place a dinosaur in post instead of really mapping out like, maybe we should have this
And
there.
that's why, and that's exactly why that one shot in the movie where there's like a long one take and like the dinosaurs like gotta chomp on the neighbor, and then it starts chasing the kids, and then Anne Hathaway like shoots at it to get its attention. That's why that scene works so well, because it's a choreographed, what this dinosaur is gonna do here. It's interacting with the actors in the environment. When you got stuff like they're on a rooftop waiting to jump into a portal with 6 dinosaurs surrounding them, and they're just like, and the dinosaurs aren't doing anything. They're just like sitting back. I'm like,
Birdemic. It's giving Birdemic. Where they're fucking swatting.
Jesus, a little bit.
It's giving a little
bit. But yeah, it was just too many stuff like that. And then like some of there's some tonal decisions here that I'm just like, I don't know if this is the directing or the script.
No, I think that's another part of why I said David Robert Mitchell, I don't think was the best director for this, is because that's not that he can't do like, humor or anything. No, he can't. But that's not,
it's balancing it
where you're gonna get like, if I get David Robert Mitchell, I want a David Robert Mitchell movie, and you can tell there are things in this movie. Listen, this movie is PG-13. I've rarely seen this much blood cuts in a PG-13, and that's where I'm like, give me the David Robert Mitchell movie instead. I don't want the J.J. Abrams bad robot version of this where it has to be PG-13. You have to make it for all audiences. It has to be 4 quadrant and all these things.
And hold on. Let's put a pin in that, or not put a pin in that. Let's go. I'm going to have that go into what I'm about to say, because that's a good segue. So the 80s backdrop of the movie, it's charming, right? It's not as like beat your head over with the neon lights and the curly hair and everybody wearing tights and shit. It's not like trying to beat you over the head with the 80s backdrop, but more so like this suburban, like low key 80s vibe, which I love, But here's the thing, right? Like you just talked about it being PG-13 and like really like towing that edge of like rated R and stuff. It's stuff like that that doesn't make it feel like an 80s, like a charming, like really it really like encapsulates how the movie
like
feels,
an
like a
80s movie
surface
wouldn't have
level.
blood, really.
It wouldn't
like,
have
at
blood.
all.
And that's what
They
this
would
is
like
my
just
thing when I
drag
talk
them.
about.
They would like get dragged by the dinosaurs.
It would be
like
PG. It would be like Jurassic.
This motherfucker picks up Ewan McGregor, fucking ragdolls him and slams him on the ground with his leg detached, and then fucking chomps him 2 seconds later. Like,
and it's just like
that
it's
would
like,
be in
I like the 80s charm,
2000s movie. Like,
and Giacchino's score is good
really
in the
like
first half.
I really like his score.
Completely loses me in the second half. Like I don't feel anything of his work in the movie in the second half. That 80s charm starts to lose itself and it starts to wane as the movie goes on and on and on. Because again, there's a point where it no longer feels like animals in an 80s suburban neighborhood.
It feels like
at some point in the movie
disaster movie. Like it feels like
I mean, sure, like that. But I don't even point to an era. It just doesn't. There's no. At some point in the movie, it's lost. It no longer feels like an 80s movie, an 80s neighborhood being taken over by dinosaurs. Now it just at some point in the movie, it just feels like a neighborhood trying to survive dinosaurs. Like there's no specific, and that's what I mean. Like it starts off with this charm, with this vision, the slow burn, the build up, and then once we get to it all, it really started to lose me. And then the characters don't really grow from there. Like everything is kind of given to you in the beginning of the movie, like literally in dialogue form, and like everything kind of sorts itself out throughout the movie with no real like dimension to it. It's just kind of like this plot line figures itself out this way, and there's no like deeper meaning or depth to it all. And it's fine. I'm not saying it needed that.
I don't think it needed that, to be honest.
Right. I'm not saying it needed that, but I feel like for me,
I don't think I signed up to this movie for that though.
Right, but I think it only hinders the experience when I'm not enjoying much of the other aspects outside of that. You know, like even
when
the
you're not
dinosaur
enjoying
stuff.
What you did want from it.
Right. Yeah. It makes that stuff much more glaringly obvious.
But I'm gonna push back on that. I think, we've been cooking this movie for its faults. I'm gonna give it its flowers. And I think even though it's very far from perfect, I think there's some things that shine here. Obviously, I think all the performances are pretty good. It gets off to a rocky start, like the opening, like it's kind of like the first
a little bit
15 minutes are like
I think it's just
editing
a tone,
is
like getting used
so jarring in the first 10 minutes specifically. But yeah, once we get really hunkered down and things start happening,
I think the editing in some of those dino sequences are genuinely horrible. Like the editing in some of those sequences.
Think, bro, was there an R-rated version of this movie? Like, that's what makes me keep thinking stuff like that. But I think the performances all around were pretty good. I think there's even subtleties of like, I wouldn't say it's the most subtle, obviously, but I think the script shows it's caring when we're playing with things like the whole pizza delivery thing and how that comes around and how he's so ashamed of it. But at the end of the day, towards the end of the movie, when you see that pizza delivery thing on top of his car, it's like a light. It's like a fucking it's like a genuine like moment of relief. It's like, and I like that stuff, and I also appreciate just taking the moment. For like, there's a scene where the girl character in this movie, she sits in a car and plays music, and during this whole scene, I'm like, oh, this is the dumbest shit. She's gonna fucking play music out loud, and a dinosaur is gonna fucking but it does nothing happen. It just plays out, and that's little things that I appreciate.
Can I push back
from a
on
movie
that?
That's not just
can
being
I push back on
stupid all the time.
Can I push back on that? Because I was thinking that too, right? I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of those moments where like, oh, she's in the car listening to music, she can't hear what's going on outside, or like
Or like she's
dinosaur's
playing
gonna
it too
sneak
loud and a
up,
dinosaur hears it.
something, right? And nothing happens, right? Completely tonally unaware though. Like does not fit with the rest of the movie at all. That
I
scene.
agree, but it's
Nothing
just
else
it's
in
moments
the
like
movie
that made me appreciate that. Okay, it's not just stupid, brainless
right. But also you have to understand the
like
tone of your movie. And you're not having any other scenes that are so deep and so like almost traumatic. It feels like there's nothing like that. And when you have that scene, I agree with you, because that's what I was thinking watching that scene. I was like, oh, one of these stupid things is gonna happen, and then it didn't happen. And then I was like, and then the scene kept going, right? Because they didn't. Let me tell you something. This scene keeps going. Then the scene kept going, and I was like, really yeah, tonally, I'm just not feeling this tonally. Like this feels a little bit too like depressing. Like and you're playing this 80s music, then it starts to have this like weird like vibe to it with the 80s music behind. I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't feeling that.
I will say the whole teleport system thing, the entire the bubble thing was interesting. But I do think
it was interesting in a way that's like, oh, look, it's a portal.
You could have,
like,
I do think you could have presented that in a way that was more intriguing, because they didn't treat it as just a portal. And so you're looking, while it visually looks like cool, I actually really love how like every time it showed up, it like ate the matter of everything that it showed up in.
I think it did that like one time.
But I like it when it.
But yeah,
it was that
like
first time when they showed when Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway saw it,
cool.
And they were like,
cool.
he put
I like that.
And then it dipped, and like the whole house was like ate through like a sphere, and it was like I really liked that. But yeah, I just thought like, oh, like maybe we could have did something more interesting. Like maybe Ewan McGregor could have stuck his head in and then seen the world, or like something like that.
Or it was aliens that put dinosaurs here for some reason.
Okay,
like
now we're veering off into like huge ideas.
I'm just saying this is stuff people would have did in the 80s though, and this is my point. Like to me, this is why the trailers were so much better. To me, the trailers were like the charming the trailers were much better in terms of like giving you this charming like 80s cool
the
horror
dino
like
flick. Super 8, whereas
this movie felt like a disaster. It felt so authentic. And in this movie, I'm like, it starts to, like that 80s charm, it kind of starts to just wane on you like as the movie goes on, because it starts to have this like inauthentic feel to it. And it's just like there's moments in this movie where it's like, dude, like if you really like loved the 80s and like you would have did this differently, like here, like the fact that we're in this 80s backdrop. But that's just harping on that. But again, like I think the first half is enjoyable. I like the build up to the and I do like some of the dinosaur designs. Like the Rhamphorhynchus design is very accurate. The Tropanathus design, very good with the like the circular like beak, and some of the scaling of that looks good. The Allosaurus looks good too. But then like there's moments where like some of these dinosaur designs are kind of like underwhelming or lackluster, and they're kind of just like very forgettable. Like, or they just don't have that imposing nature to them to where you'll be like, oh wow, like that's cool. You know, a lot of it feels like CG, like no scale, like feathered. I'm gonna be real, a lot of the dinosaurs in this movie are feathered for like no real reason. And then you have the non-feathered dinosaurs, which are like the more like, you know, like the crocodile turtle, the snake, like the more like reptilian like dinosaurs. And look, even that, when I watch a dinosaur movie and I come out the theater and I'm kind of like, those dinosaurs were forgettable, I think that's a very telling sign of how I feel about the movie. Like,
this movie did need a T-Rex. It did need a T-Rex. It did.
I mean, it had an Allosaurus. I just think you needed to.
posters.
It had an Allosaurus. I just think you needed to feel the weight of the Allosaurus.
Yeah.
Like I think they just needed to do a better job of showing you, like how they have that scene in the beginning with the like younger sister, like looking out at the woods and she just sees something moving.
And it's almost
It's like what is that?
Just like,
Imagine if that
can't
was the
even tell.
Allosaurus. Like we don't know what it is, honestly. Like
Yeah.
by the end of the movie, I'm still like,
Or like the scene where
which dinosaur
McGregor
was
lights
that?
a match and puts it up to the window, and it's just
and it's like
and
you
it just keeps going, and it's
you
like,
needed to have more stuff like that or build up one of these animals like that. But yeah, I was just kind of surprised at how disjointed some of this movie felt to me. Like, and honestly, I was shocked at the critical reception of this movie because I think
it is more positive than Walking Out than I would have expected.
Yeah, I think most of the mishaps in this movie rely in like the script choices. I think there's some pretty bad script choices here.
But could it be the fact that it's simply trying? like are dinosaurs movies that like at
but
that
is it
bottom
though? Like it's a very
even
it's a
remotely trying to have
like, don't get me wrong, I know
relationship or
don't get me wrong, I know the mutated dinosaurs and the go get the secret DNA, the secret blood compound to fix this problem. I know that shit is like tiring, but like
that's all plot stuff though. I'm talking about more character stuff.
But that's another thing is that the character stuff in here really isn't that interesting. Like you have like this tussle between a mom and dad,
but there is
and like
character work there that is actually real, and this
is what I hate. I don't understand this. Like we like to act like the Jurassic films don't have that or something. Like I'm just like
they're almost non-existent.
Are the Jurassic films just like throwing characters in a Jurassic like setting? Like to me, that's not what it is. I'm not gonna. Don't get me wrong. I'm not exactly talking about the characters in those movies, but I think when you compare this movie character-wise, character writing-wise to some of those Jurassic movies, I don't think it's any different. I think characters are just as thin, just as one note, just as one-dimensional. I don't think there's like any like.
But it's about relationships. It's about
amazing dialogue,
things, right?
And I think you get the same thing in other Jurassic films. I don't understand what we're talking about here.
Movie is just a happy-go-lucky dad that's optimistic, but it's his relationship with everyone else. It's his relationship with his son and his relationship with his wife, and how they differ, and how that ends up being kind of a thing that she ends up appreciating. And these are things that like they're not, digging deep. They're not filled with depth, and they're pretty surface level.
But you said is in Jurassic World Rebirth with Loomis's character. He's a guy who just wants to, who doesn't think anything of this trip. He wants to go see dinosaurs for real, and he starts to have a relationship with Zora, and it starts to change her views on like doing this just for. What do you mean? Like he has a relationship with her in terms of they start to share with each other, like, the fact that he's a guy and kind of scared on the trip. The fact that, and then Zora starts to kind of talk about how it's just another mission to her, like for money and stuff like that, and they form this relationship where she comes to the understanding of like not just doing this thing for money, and he comes to the understanding of like relishing in this journey ahead. Again, it's not super layered or anything, but just like End of Oak Street, like there's relationships that are built. Like they're like I don't understand.
Yeah,
like
but
it's
I
not
think
again.
It's about execution. It's about how much you're diving into that, how much time you're giving to that. And
I don't think they're giving that much time to it in End of Oak Street,
and
bro.
I think Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway have more.
It's not. It's like an hour and 48 minutes.
Anyone in any.
It was supposed to be
Jurassic
an hour
World
and a half.
movie.
It felt longer than Jurassic World Rebirth.
This is not an hour and 40 minutes. What are you talking about? With credits, this is barely an hour and a half, bro. Or without credits, I mean.
Okay, well.
It's a 90-minute dinosaur movie, and Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway.
It didn't feel like it, so it really doesn't matter. Like that really doesn't matter. And again, the Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway stuff, like as far as their relationship goes, you just get like generic familiar, like mom and pop are on the verge of split. Like this is like, bro, like this is like script stuff that's chat GPT, like almost feeling, bro. Like
Damn, then what is Jurassic
the
World
dad
like?
who drink
Like,
the dad who drinks when he's alone, and
but I think
they're
it's
on the
interesting
verge
that
of
things
having a
like him noticing
divorce,
the smoke on his son's breath,
and it doesn't
and then
and
later on
it
she
doesn't
notices the
even
drink on his breath. And these are
and
things that
it
show
doesn't
that they're
even
trying.
culminate.
That it is
It
not
doesn't even
just
culminate
what
properly.
can
They
we
have
how
this
did
moment
what's
where
this
they're
character's purpose in the plot
it
of
doesn't
the
even it doesn't
DNA.
even culminate properly. They have this moment where like they're both scared and like are in a car and getting attacked by a dinosaur, and they share this like moment of like, damn, like I love you, but it doesn't feel honest. It
It was so
feels
awkward because then there's like a
like
dead person in the front seat.
it's not even that. It just feels dishonest in the way that's like it feels like you guys are sitting here like thinking about each other in the way that's like this could be the last moment of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and maybe that was the wake up call, but it just felt kind of like dishonest and cheap to me. Like, okay, like
Sure.
when they finally have that moment of like, you know, true love perseveres, when they finally have that moment is when they're about to die.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe like what they could die. It's kind of, I don't know. But yeah, I like the first half of the movie. And again, like I can appreciate the dinosaur stuff. I can appreciate some of the like atmosphere of like some of those shots where they're like in the neighborhood at night and
I
like
do
they're
wonder
like
what this
I
would
like
have
the
been like in
way it
IMAX.
feels.
I do
I like
wonder.
the way it feels. There's just some tonally unaware bad editing choices, bad script choices, and like at the end of the day, I just think the movie started to kind of feel like a hindrance on me, and like I'm just watching just to get to the end rather than wanting to see how it would end. I wanted to
Oof.
like this movie a lot
I can
more.
describe so many movies like that.
Oh no, you can. I I I wanted to like this movie a lot more. Um Genuinely
Give your
though,
rating.
like
Give your rating. I guess we can rate these since we did on Letterboxd. You can give your rating out of 5.
yeah, I'll give it 2.5 out of 5.
2.5 out of
I'll
5.
give it a 5 out of 10.
Five out
Not
of 10
very, not
for a
yeah,
movie like
not
this? No,
very,
that's
yeah,
average. That's
not
pain. That's like
it's average. It's
a
not.
5 out of
It,
10 for a
it's
movie like
not
this
like a.
is
It's not
crazy.
like a. It's not. Shut
5
up.
out of 10? That's like I'm not calling this like a.
To me, I give my 10 out of 10 scores based on my out
Well,
of
I
five
guess
score.
I do get I guess
So
like
a two
if
and a half out of five is a 5 out of
you don't
10.
be watching the
A
bad,
3 out of
you
5
you
it would
don't
be
know
a
how bad it
six
can
out of
get. I
10.
guess
No,
it'll
but
be
that's just my
bad.
rating system. And also, I just think one half of this movie is decent, like at best, like decent with some good moments at
Interesting,
best.
interesting.
I think the rest is just like
I like the ending.
the rest. The ending is like the worst part of this
I meant
movie.
like literally the
Jesus
last five
Christ!
seconds, not
Look,
the dad coming
I
back in
wanted
it,
to
be a
I
happy
wanted to
movie
like
ever
this
after.
movie more. It's got dinosaurs in it already. Like you already had me like
This movie
higher
plays
on your
with time,
movie
like
than average
actually, this is
movies.
kind of wild.
Um, but yeah, I'm coming out of this feeling kind of dejected, honestly, because I really wanted to like this movie truly. And there was a moment
Mm-hmm.
watching these trailers where I was convinced. I was like, this is gonna be like one of my favorite movies like of this year.
Oh,
Like I love dinosaurs. I love the vibe. I was all in. Totally missed me, especially in this second half. And yeah, I think overall come out of this thing just feeling like it's an afterthought. I
didn't
didn't really
have
get
a
any real
D-Rex.
value. I didn't really get any real value going to the theater to watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about some of the dinosaurs already, what they look like, some of the scenes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of just like I come out the theater, come just kind of like I don't know, like this is whatever. That's kind of how I felt.
It was
Two and
missing
a
the
half out of five.
D-Rex. It was missing the D-Rex. That's what it was missing. I'm telling you.
It was missing a D-Rex or a Mosasaurus.
Yeah, I pretty much enjoyed it.
Wasn't missing a Spinosaurus, though. That Spinosaurus looked good. I like that. Never seen a Spinosaurus with quills on it, but it looked good.
I wasn't, I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. I thought, I don't know. I have a knack for anything that feels almost, this shit feels more Spielbergian than Disclosure Day. Like, I just have a soft spot for that
in ways, sure.
And
I think Disclosure Day has certain moments
too. The performances in here, I loved Giacchino's score, and I liked the Twilight Zone-esque of it. There was something about the whole playing with time, and once that started unraveling, it gets hokey in areas using that, but I also think it's just kind of an intriguing, kind of wrench thrown into the whole premise of it all. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm like between a 3 and a 3.5. I think I'm giving it a 3.5 right now because I'm just, not a lot of great dinosaur movies. Yeah, just like nice. I'm like, there's just not a lot of good dinosaur movies, and also, I just, I really enjoyed my time with it. I think this is a movie that, when it comes to, family blockbuster to, go out to go see, like, this is what it used to be, like, for the most part. Like, obviously, with the caveats that we've talked about in here. But overall,
yeah, you're either going to watch this movie and be like, it's dumb fun, or like, just fun dumb. Like I feel like you're going to walk out of this movie and either like have fun with it and like have fun with just the scenario of an 80s neighborhood and surviving a bunch of dinosaurs attacking people, or you're going to be like, I'm not really bought in, and then you're going to start nitpicking and being like, this is dumb, and then certain plot threads just completely get injected into the movie literally in the last like 10 minutes of the movie. And I could see some of that stuff. Like, I could see that stuff that happens in the last 10 minutes of the movie.
What are you referring to?
Some of that, like, all mainly the stuff after the dad dies. I don't know why it takes a huge nosedive after that happens.
The girl, they find the neighbor girl.
But the neighbor girl and the portal stuff, as far as like how it works, and like,
no, they figured that out.
Right, but I'm talking about how things are like like how they're resolute and stuff. How certain things are like ended and certain plot elements are brought forth. I think the third act of this movie is going to leave a lasting impression on you, like for better or worse. I think however you come out of this movie is going to depend a lot on the third act for you. But yeah, I did not like this movie. I didn't hate it. I won't say it's the worst thing in the world, but I did not. I did not. I am
curious to see what other people think of this. Obviously, I've seen people that didn't like it. I've seen people that like adore it. Which,
I think most people that really like it.
I really wanted to love it. I just liked it, and I liked it quite a bit. I enjoyed it. I'd give it a 3.5. Like, as if I'm like really reviewing this movie in relation to like all movies I've seen this year, realistically it probably gets a 3, but I'm giving it a 3.5 just because it's an actually good dinosaur movie, which haven't gotten that in over a decade. So, yeah.
We got it. We had a good one last year.
You're serious too. That's the craziest part. Is like
I'm so serious.
Dead ass. You're like,
I'm so
Zora
serious.
Is a great character.
No,
you're like,
she's not. I mean, she's a fine character. She's a better character than a lot of characters in the fucking End of Oak Street. If I'm being quite honest here, you have characters in this movie in End of Oak Street that are like dog shit compared to characters in Rebirth. That neighbor character, one of the worst characters I've seen in a movie.
Notice how you got to bring up like a
very
supporting
one of the worst
character.
I don't give a fuck.
Like,
I don't give a fuck. You want to know why?
You can't.
I don't give a fuck.
You can't.
What?
Starbuck is better than fucking Zora, bro. You can't bring up a main character because they're all better. They're all more tangible. They don't feel like plot devices. They don't feel like plot devices. That's the issue with Jurassic World Rebirth. They all just feel like plot devices. Oh, they're here for a specific reason. It's like Kong Skull Island without any of the competence. Like, it's just
disagree. I don't think there's a single character in the End of Oak Street better than Henry Loomis. I don't think there's a single character in the End of Oak Street better than fucking Zora Bennett.
I really like
any of the characters in the End of Oak Street
but that's
are good.
mainly because I
love Ewan McGregor. I think I love Anne Hathaway. I think both of their characters fucking suck. I genuinely, they could be written better to you. They could have more to them. I think they fucking suck. How about that? Like, I think they suck as characters.
You like
I did not care about what they were doing. I did not care about what they had.
You don't really care about.
I didn't care about the family members.
I think the less personality someone has,
and I gave even less of a fuck about the dinosaurs. You know who I did give a fuck about in Rebirth? Titanosaurus, Quetzalcoatlus, fucking Mosasaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rex,
oh my God,
Spinosaurus,
budget.
the Velociraptors, the Aqualops. I love the Aqualops is better than the fucking neighbor character in the End of Oak Street.
You're never beating the CGI.
Sorry, bro. Sorry. We had a good dinosaur movie last year. Primitive War was also a good time too. Primitive War was a better movie than this movie, if I'm being quite honest. But you know, that's neither here nor there. I think people love to hate on Rebirth and they like to act like it's like this dumpster fire of a movie. That's actually it's a pretty decent flick, especially for these dinosaur movies that you say we don't get that are good.
Oh, it's definitely
one of the better ones. It's definitely one of the better ones.
Where's the bar?
And Jurassic World
in hell.
But
it's not better than the first Jurassic World. You have to be.
It is better than the first Jurassic World. It is.
You have to be stupid.
Because just like the first Jurassic World, don't give a fuck about anybody in that movie. I don't give a flying fuck. I don't give a shit. And it's probably because of the relatability factor. There's no characters I can relate to in either End of Oak Street or that first Jurassic World movie.
There's characters you can relate to in Jurassic World
to Henry Loomis, brother.
The multi-million-dollar.
When he said that when he dies, I want to be buried by I want to be fossilized by a silt of sand and stuff like that. I'm like, and then Mahershala Ali is like, bro, you're a weirdo. And he's like, okay. Like, I'm like, I feel that. That is very relatable. That is, matter of fact, how it felt being in the car after watching End of Oak Street, talking about the different dinosaurs. And my mom being like, God, you sound so nerdy. I'm like, that's what makes Henry Loomis so fucking... That's what makes him so fucking relatable.
You're not a dino
I'm not
lover.
A paleontologist.
You're not.
It's just relatable. It's just relatable. It's just more relatable, brother.
You're LARPing.
It's just
and I
more
do
relatable.
remember you starting to LARP for Jurassic World Rebirth because of certain reasons, because it was dropping the same month as another movie. But that's neither here nor there. We won't discuss that. I thoroughly enjoyed End of Oak Street. I'd give it a recommend. It is not doing good. So, yeah, we'll be seeing Jurassic movies only for the next 30 years when it comes to mainstream dinosaur movies.
Unfortunately, not any directed by Gareth Edwards, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah,
because that doesn't matter, right? The director doesn't fucking matter, right? Jurassic World Rebirth just sucks. It's not like the dinosaurs are presented very well. And we're back to presenting the dinosaurs extremely well.
Yeah, the scale's cool.
No, that doesn't matter when it comes to the Jurassic movies. Good. We need better characters.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that. I'm not going to the Jurassic World. I'm not going to the Jurassic movies for the fucking characters.
No,
I'm going
but
for the
are
fucking
there
dinosaurs.
humans in them?
And one thing that was lost in all of these movies was the aspect of those dinosaurs feeling the scale, feeling like they're real animals. When you would watch that Jurassic Park movie for the first time and you felt like it was real. That's what was missing. The magic of it all. It's lost on you. It's lost on all of you.
I get it. It didn't have the budget and it doesn't look as visually stimulating as Jurassic World Rebirth, but there are more to movies. You know, if you're going to put a human in a movie, I expect to at least like the human or in some way or form be affected. And I think everyone in Jurassic World Rebirth, other than Henry Loomis, should have got pieced the fuck up. And that would have actually made that movie kind of enjoyable. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, this movie I thoroughly enjoyed. Once again, I'll give it 3.5. You guys, if you did go see it, please let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. But if you haven't, I suggest going watch it.
If you didn't like this movie, please comment down below. I would like to know your thoughts on like why you didn't like it, because
I'm curious.
I feel like everybody's thoughts on why they did like it is literally just, hey, it's not a Jurassic Park movie. genuinely, I feel like that is
it's not as bad
the only takeaway from the people that like this movie. Oh, wow, an actually good dinosaur movie. And then immediately brings up the Jurassic franchise. I mean, like, bro, I need to know what somebody who didn't like this movie.
What's the other good dinosaur movies then?
Because there's not. I mean, I like Primitive War. I like Jurassic World Rebirth, bro. Like, I'm not gonna sit here.
That's a Jurassic movie.
I'm not gonna sit here and lot up this movie when those movies exist. Like, those movies are way better dinosaur movies than this movie. And that's another thing. Motherfuckers will applaud this movie. Oh, finally a good movie. It's actually a good movie. No, it's not. It's written poorly. It's tonally inconsistent. It's not directed very well. What the fuck are we talking about here?
I wouldn't say it's written.
What are we talking about here?
See, you've seen such.
Come on, man. It's what I do.
You've seen garbage and like it's not written poorly. Is it the most bulletproof script? No, not at all. But
I wouldn't say written poorly. There's just poor script choices.
When there are
genuinely poor script choices.
Yeah, I do.
I remember people walking out of Jurassic World Rebirth and being like, "Oh, some of this shit is dumb." Like some of the things these characters do and stuff, it's dumb. Some of the things these characters do is dumb. I watched End of O Street and fucking.
It goes further than just dumb choices, though. Jurassic World Rebirth has some.
Literally halfway through the third act of this movie, I was like, Jurassic World Rebirth wasn't even fucking close to this dumb. It didn't even toe the edge of being this dumb. It wasn't even a country mile away from being this fucking stupid.
I can't tell.
Not even close.
I can't tell.
Go watch it for yourself. A slithering snake can move from upstairs all the way to downstairs with people being completely unaware of their surroundings in the midst of a survival dinosaur movie, by the way. They can be completely unaware of their surroundings so that this big-ass, giant fucking anaconda snake can go from upstairs to downstairs like it's grabbing a quick bite from the fucking fridge. Get out of here. There's nothing even close to that dumb in Jurassic World Rebirth. Matter of fact, the moment where the fucking wrapper of the Snickers bar falls into the fucking the machine in the beginning of the movie is 10 times smarter than what I just said. I don't give a shit, man. Get out of here with that shit.
You literally could care less about a decent script or trying on the paper. We know you're okay with people just straight up saying their backstories one by one at a table. You like that pretty consistently. Yeah, this movie was way better. I look at Jurassic World and there's some stupid shit. If you've never seen Jurassic World Rebirth, please do me a favor. And I bet during that movie, you'll know who's expendable. Trust me.
Oh, well, yeah.
Instantly, you will know.
It's the boss
who
guy.
Are the most expendable.
Just like the first Jurassic Park.
He's not the only person that dies.
In the first Jurassic Park.
He's not the only person that dies? Okay. You'll know every person that is expendable in them. Every single one you will know. You will know who is here just to be cannon fodder. You will know who's here just to be eaten in the sequence. You will know who's here just to. You will know all these things.
There's nothing wrong with that,
and everything with the Delgado family. Just be prepared for the dumbest shit you've ever watched.
The stuff with the Delgado family is way better than anything with this fuck-ass End of O Street family.
What was it? The little dinosaur Daisy?
The stuff between Xavier and his girlfriend's dad in that movie is far better than any relationship in this movie.
I'm sure it is.
That line when Xavier says, "Thank God she doesn't know who I am," that shit hit me, bro. When he said that shit, I was like, whoever wrote that line understands. I was like, whoever wrote that line understands, bro.
That shit cut deep. That shit hit deep.
It did. It did.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. But that was our review.
Go watch Rebirth if you haven't seen Rebirth.
Go watch both and let us know. If you've seen both,
you'll get a lot more out of your time watching Rebirth than this fucking movie. You won't even think about the dinosaurs after this.
That was our review for End of O Street. Let us know your thoughts down there in the comments below. Our last topic here. Lanterns just premiered last night at the recording of this video. It's got that Sunday night HBO slide. It is the first episode, obviously. This is, for some, highly anticipated. For many others, dreading it. I think this was interesting to see unfold online specifically. and also just on the screen. I mean, we can go through it, but I want you to give your quick thoughts, your just overall impression. Maybe we'll rate it out of 10, since I don't know how you could rate a show out of 5 or episode out of 5. So maybe we could rate this out of 10. So give your quick thoughts.
If you had my rating system, you would be able to. Look, this episode was pretty fucking boring. It was pretty fucking boring. I couldn't bring myself to care about a lot of the stuff going on in this episode. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt because it's only the first episode, and they're low key hitting you with some mysterious like twists and turns that kind of I feel like need more context for you to really like munch on it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff in here, it just feels like rodeo slop is what I like to call it. I like to call it rodeo slop. It's like that like brand of television that's like small town mystery, and granted sci-fi elements in here, things that are different, not just your standard, but there's just moments throughout this episode where I'm finding myself kind of bored by some of the conversations at hand, kind of like, okay, I know how this scene is gonna play out. And honestly, look, I going into this wasn't the highest. Like even the trailers and stuff were very boring to me. I will say, I didn't like Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan in the trailers, and in here is bearable. Like, he's not like great bearable to me. I'm just not a Kyle Chandler guy. I must be the fact. So I must just be like not a Kyle Chandler guy. But like,
maybe you need to watch Friday Night Lights. Maybe that'll get some pep in your step. Maybe that'll get some pep.
I don't know, but I'm just, there's something about Kyle Chandler that's like, he's a great actor, and what he's doing is believable. Like, what his character is supposed to be here is believable. I'm just not buying into it. I don't really like care about it. And they're kind of throwing you in this situation where they're kind of asking you to care for Hal Jordan and what's going on in the plot, knowing that he's like furthering out of the show, like knowing that he's not gonna be at the forefront of the show. It's more so gonna be like Jon Stewart. But I think the problem is they're trying to make you like not trying to make you care about him, but they're just giving you a Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, tag along for the whole episode, and you don't really
while they're
care.
Like setting the table. It's more so like they're using their dynamic to carry the table setting for this episode. Obviously, you get a little sprinkle at the beginning of like John's upbringing, but that's very quick.
But you just don't really care, so it kind of feels like you're tagging along just on this like buddy cop ride of two buddy cops that you don't really know. You're just kind of left to buy into like their chemistry and their dynamic with each other, which is fine, but I'm gonna need more than that, or like I'm just gonna need more intrigue to buy into that stuff. There's not a lot of green in this show. Like they use the powers very sparingly, and it seems like that's probably how it's gonna be like for the season. Like, I don't think you're gonna get like some crazy sprawling sequences with a bunch of constructs. I think it's gonna be like peppered in kind of thing, like just used sparingly. And don't get me wrong, I was watching this show and I definitely was like, man, it's so grounded. But I wasn't like feeling like, okay, this needs to be much more Green Lantern-y. Like, I need to see much more sci-fi stuff. I didn't feel like that. I think maybe because of the plot having a lot to do with like timelines and sci-fi like stuff, maybe that like curbed my appetite for like more Green Lantern-esque things. But with the trailers, I was kind of like, damn, like this is like no Green Lantern stuff. And here it's kind of the same thing, but I just don't feel like that. Like, it's not,
because they clearly aren't shy. They clearly aren't like, and that was a lot of people's concern, was they're like, oh, they're embarrassed of the comics. Bro, in this first episode, they're referencing the Guardians, Aliens. Hal tells his origin.
Well,
they're
it's
using
still
the
a
ring.
lantern show. I don't think
But that's
they were
what I
gonna
mean.
do
People were expecting like, oh, they're not even gonna respect the source material.
That's probably why they think this episode is a fucking banger. Honestly, like that's probably the reason why they think that, because the expectations were so fucking low for some of these people.
This episode's a banger. It's not peak. I'm not gonna sit here and call it peak. Like some people are like fucking 10 out of 10 fucking peak. I'm like,
I mean, it's a pilot episode.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm sure there's better episodes in the season. Like,
no, pilot episodes are supposed to be like really good episodes.
They're supposed to get you in, yes, but I don't think they're not supposed to be the best. They're not supposed to be the best. They're not
the best, but to me, I mean, as far as comic book projects go, it's one of the weaker pilot episodes I've seen in the last like couple years of comic book projects. As far as the ones that I've seen, like as far as the ones that I've seen, Daredevil Born Again's episode was better than this. WandaVision's episode was better than this.
The premiere. What do you like the first season?
Yeah, the first episode.
I can't remember anything after Foggy's death in that. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, well that's just you. I definitely remember
that opening was good though. I remember that opening being like really good.
And the closing
and the ending,
with,
with Kingpin. Yeah.
It was just a phenomenal episode. And then same with the Loki first episode. Same with the WandaVision first episode.
I remember rewatching it on repeat. That first episode of
What doesn't get talked about a lot, nobody really talks about the show a lot. The first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, fucking banger. First episode of that show was fucking great. Yeah, really and then the first episode of Wonder Man, banger, when it ends with like his audition and stuff like that. Phenomenal episodes. Like,
I think this episode,
I don't think Lancers is on the level of those episodes, but I don't think this episode was like. But again, I think part of it is that I think a lot of like, I think that the show is very dependent on like stuff unfolding, and you're not gonna get like a fucking banger episode in the first episode of like a mystery
show,
like series. That's gonna come when the twists and turns and things unfold and stuff, and then you're like, what the fuck is going?
I do think that's what the ending did for a lot of people. I think that ending, say what, there's gonna be a lot of fuck the DCU because Hal Jordan's dead without even watching the fucking show. It's genuinely the most like ignorant shit I've ever seen online. You don't gotta like that Hal Jordan died, but when you don't watch the show, yeah, you look stupid. Like you literally look ignorant.
What about if they do though? What about if they do watch the show and they're like, why the fuck did Hal Jordan die?
Yeah, you don't gotta like it. That's cool. But I do think for a lot of people that the last like 15 minutes of this like really hooked people from the interrogation scene straight into that ending. That I thought the music was good in here. I love the timeline. I do think the timelines make this very interesting. Like it actually makes the show super like
it makes it literally other than just rodeo slop. It's like, hey, it's rodeo slop, but guess what? There's sci-fi elements, because that's what it would fucking feel like without the Green Lantern elements.
It feels like
that's literally what it would be
if that's what you
without
call
the Green Lantern elements. What?
If that's what you would call True Detective rodeo.
Dude, stop comparing this to True Detective. There's a True Detective tone to it, but as far as like, dude, like I'm getting like rodeo slop from like the writing. As far as the writing is concerned,
you've never seen
like True Detective. A mystery, so like a True Detective. But those rodeo slop shows are also mysteries. Like they're also crime mystery dramas. Like So again, I get that. Like to me, I've never seen True Detective. I've never seen True Detective, but as far as like some of the like it reminds me of Reacher, and I feel like I've seen stuff from True Detective, and I'm like, this show.
Okay.
But I've seen stuff from True Detective, and I'm like, I can see why you would say that, but to me, it reminds me more of like a Reacher, maybe because like the very like kind of rodeo, like southern small town, like not southern, they're in Nebraska, but everybody's wearing fucking cowboy hats. The fucking like that feel of it all kind of makes me feel like that. And then the relationship between like the deputy and sheriff, so I think that stuff makes me feel like Reach. But the sci-fi elements do make it somewhat intriguing, somewhat interesting. The interrogation scene, I really didn't care for. Like it was cool watching it unfold, but like I wasn't like well, what's happening in this scene? It
No,
was
I
kind of
just
just
think the
playing
scene is
out.
just captivating in multiple ways. I think in multiple areas. Obviously, you get Hal flexing his muscles, but we're also learning: is this more? Is Hal's hunch right? Is it correct? And you get little moments like even a little moment of John drawing on the paper. Like I love everything in that interrogation scene. Like is like cooking, and then obviously you get the reveal. Yeah, like this motherfucker's about to blow up. I love the construct he made too. It like interacted with the, it like
Some of the
cut through the
some of the
ground and shit.
dialogue,
Like,
some of the dialogue is like really good. I like the sequence when they're on that guy's ranch or whatever. Um, I don't even know his name. I don't know
William
anything.
Macon.
His wife, John fucked his wife.
Garrett Dillahunt.
John fucked his wife. I like that whole sequence. Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't like John one night standing with this fucking random bra that he met while he was on the job, because it felt kind of out of character for what they were establishing early on with this character, and it kind of felt out of nowhere. But yeah, I was digging that whole scene. I think the performances are pretty good too, for the most part. Like, don't get me wrong.
Killing it. I think everyone.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if Aaron Pierre is not killing it, or if it's just the writing, or just the directing, or the vision for his character. But he's just so stale to me. And like,
this is interesting. There is this stoic fan. This is interesting.
There is this underlying intrigue about Aaron Pierre's performance. Like, there's this underlying nature of like, yeah, like there's zero personality to him, but that's what makes him interesting. And like, there's little peaks.
Hold on now.
There's
zero personality to him, bro. We in 2016. Let's just remember that. Like, these things could evolve during the training, under how certain things happen.
I'm not saying, I'm just talking about the first episode, but like, again, like no personality. You get some peaks in the cracks though, of like his, like the underbelly of his upbringing, formulating like the way he is. Like some of Aaron Pierre's performance here is pretty good in terms of that. But it is a boring character on screen. But I think I'm just appreciating Aaron Pierre's, like what he's bringing to the role, I guess.
He has strong.
I'm not really caring. I don't really care about. Yeah, he has strong screen presence. I think some of the dialogue and some of the way he specifically delivers it helps that performance come through a little bit more than just like this prototypical army, like zero personality guy. Yeah, but as far as the first episode goes, like it was okay. Like I think the episodes after this are gonna be a lot better. I don't think
I've heard it gets really
I
good.
think this
people
episode
talk about episode 5.
I mean, this episode felt like a lot of like setting up, introducing you to characters. I'm just not caring yet. I don't really care about anything yet. I'm more so just like, there's a mystery going on. I want to get to the end of that mystery kind of thing.
Dynamic. I think that's mainly what this episode is doing. Is going.
But the character dynamic is like,
you. It's trying to go. Look at the character. Look how funny and like look at their dynamic while they table set. Like I think that's the whole thing that they're trying to do.
I just like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because again, it's only the first episode. I just don't care right now. Like I think like I don't care about anything. I'm more so like, okay, what's gonna happen in the next episode? Like how does the story further? Because after this episode, I'm like, okay, you set the table. I don't really care about any characters. Now it's time to see where it goes. And that's kind of where I'm left. I'm like, okay, where is it gonna go? So like it wasn't bad to me. And there's moments where like it's genuinely good, like with certain performances, certain moments of dialogue, certain scenes. But overall, I'm kind of just like, okay, like
too. I know it's very
cool.
like,
Home Depot special. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about the music.
I like the music. It's so
it's Home Depot special.
When that score kicked in that 2026 sequence, I was like, yeah, we're cooking. I was like, yeah. I'm liking the vibe. I'm liking it. And let me just say, overall, I thought this was great. I thought this was a great pilot. As someone who partakes in this form of television, well, all forms of television, but particularly, I like me a good mystery thriller. I love it. I adore it. I think this did good in, obviously, like we talked about, like setting up all the mystery and all that, and I imagine not all of it is shown right now. I imagine not all of it is set up, but we're introduced to a lot of characters to this place. It's basically like setting up like this Nebraska town that the mystery is taking place in. It's like we got to meet all the people that are going to be involved in this thing and all of that stuff. But I mean, like, I think even the way it started, really good. Just the dynamic that they start making. Obviously, we talked about it when we first saw the trailer. How jumping out the car is the most Hal Jordan shit I've ever seen. And then, like, he seems to be like very popular amongst the crowd. And I just also, like, when he flew off, he says there's hell in Nebraska. He immediately flies off, and then it cuts to Aaron Pierre at the airport. Like, that's just good, like just subtle comedy.
That's what I mean when I'm like
saying, like,
that's what I mean when I'm like, Kyle Chandler is believable for what they're telling him to do, or like the character he's supposed to be playing, but I'm not believing the character. Like, I don't actually believe that Hal Jordan was that guy. Like, just because you show me him like on the TV, like talking about like how he's fearless, and then Hal Jordan is like this big hot shot, and every other turn, everybody calls him a big hot shot and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, okay, that's cool, and I can see that from Chandler's performance, but I don't believe that yet. Like I'm not getting that feeling, and maybe it's just
because he's old. Like, is that why? Maybe
I was about to say, like, it could be just because he's old, but also what I think it is I'm not 40 years old. I've never seen Kyle Chandler like that. I've always seen him as the boomer guy, as a boomer. Like, I've never seen him and been like, damn, like that's a badass Kyle Chandler. Hell yeah. No, but I've always been like, it's Kyle Chandler.
I do like the difference though when Aaron Pierre has the ring on, he activates the hologram as he calls it. He seems very different. His version of Hal, which is from what? 2006? Is that a real thing?
I don't know. I don't read Green Lantern comics. I don't know if that's a real thing.
I think he's from 2000.
That felt so plot convenient when I saw it. I was like,
yeah, this
feels like the most plot convenient.
Adaptation is to like change certain. Okay, we got Miss Marvel in the MCU making crystallize. Come on, bro. Like,
like plot convenient. I don't think Miss Marvel being able to stretch crystallization is plot convenient. I'm saying having a Hal Jordan hologram feels plot convenient, especially in the scene that they show it. Weird, oddly edited scene, very out of nowhere, very like random as fuck. Because it's very random.
Yeah,
like the whole scene is random.
That's
right, but it feels like it feels like they just like threw it at you. There was no like earlier scene of Hal hologramming something, or like it just felt like out of nowhere there's a Hal hologram, and then it leaves and says Toodles, and then we're on to seeing Hal.
I love how different he was in the hologram. I think that's so interesting that he shows up and he's like not as angry or much of an ass, and I do like. I wonder what was he? What made Hal this way?
I didn't get that at all. I mean, maybe that's like I didn't feel that at all. Like this drastic dichotomy of like, damn, the Hal now. Like, don't get me wrong, you could look at the Hal now and be like, okay, this motherfucker's like, this nigga's a bum. Like, this he was not him. Who is Hal Jordan? I don't know. Like you can look at him and see that now. But to me, when the hologram popped up, all he did was like have his hair done and not have a dirty ass jacket.
No, he was kinder. He was kinder the way he spoke.
But I don't really think Hal is like an asshole to John. Only when it
he's not an asshole
only
to
when
John.
Like John is
he's
like
an asshole to everyone
him.
because that's how he is now. And I'm wondering What made him
I
that
don't
way?
get that though.
What?
Like, I don't get that. To me, I just see like the deputy sheriff girl, for example, like they just have history. The stuff with John, he's been training them. They have their like ups and downs, like they have their like bickering back and forth. But I don't see him as like this asshole, like that,
No, when I say
like
asshole,
sure
I
he
mean
kind of
like,
looks,
the chip on his shoulder that he has, and he thinks he's better than
because like if that was the
everyone.
case, he would have. I feel like he would have stood a lot firmer in that sequence on the ranch when he's talking to that guy and stuff like that. Like I feel like that would come through. To me, it doesn't seem like he's an asshole. It just seems like maybe like
He's just worn down and like
yeah.
it's like the
But that's what
Thai
I mean. Like when the
explanation.
hologram pops up, it just seems like a
It was
cleaner
it's
version
like
of
the Thai explanation.
like it literally.
But that's what I mean. It's like the Thai explanation to the guy at the taco stand. He's like, I don't wear the suit anymore because, putting the tie on is a pain in the ass. Like he seems like a pain in the ass now. He seems like he's fed up and like he's withered and tired of the shenanigans.
I agree. I just didn't get the.
I just wonder what got him there. Like what has turned him
like that. I just didn't get, like you said, how he feels like he doesn't want to wear a tie and like he's like done with the shit and whatnot. Like I didn't get that feeling when the hologram popped up because it's a quick ass
but
scene.
The feeling I got was okay. So what made him such a so tired? What made him so what was it? What obviously you can be like, it's the time passed. He's been a Green Lantern for 40 years or whatever. Like, yeah, obviously.
Maybe it's just the fact that I just can't see like Kyle Chandler like that, because I'm like, when he popped up to me, I literally was just like, so just like a version of Hal Jordan that actually gels his hair and wears a jacket that is washed.
And is more kind,
unwashed,
more thoughtful with his words.
But you see how I can't get that because it's a fucking 31-minute scene of his hologram, so I can't really get like, oh wow, he's much different. He's much nicer.
That? John literally goes, "Sorry, Hal Jordan." Yeah, all right. Like this one talks different. Like this one is a bit more caring thinking before.
Oh,
you're
saying when John
now
said that.
He's so careless. He says whatever's on his mind.
I guess it's one thing to just put something in dialogue and have it be like, this is what it is, and it's another thing to feel it, because I didn't feel that. Like when I was watching that scene, I didn't feel like, oh wow, this is how Jordan feels different. To me, it just felt like a cleaner.
I mean, I guess it's a retrospective thing, because sure, it does happen early on in the show, and so like
it does, and it's very quick. That's
but
what I'm saying.
By the end of the show, you're like, that he was moving different. Like by the end of the show, you're like, oh, he's like kind of like, he's very careless now. He just says instantly what he thinks, like, and doesn't apologize.
I'm not saying you're wrong, because like, yeah, that was clearly the impression. Is like, yeah, this Hal is like careless, and the hologram that popped up like isn't exactly the same like that. I just didn't feel that. Like I wasn't like watching the scene and I'm like, damn, like that feels like another Hal Jordan. Like what happened to our Hal Jordan? Like I wasn't feeling like that. I'm more like, is our Hal Jordan just like kind of like, is this Nebraska part of his arc? Right, his Nebraska arc, is this Nebraska arc just like he's not taking showers and he's kind of just like fed up with like being in Nebraska? He wants to go to like a bigger city and solve some shit or something. Like I just wasn't thinking of all that.
Yeah, I also like, Damon Lindelof's on this, so you're gonna get commentary, you're gonna get, deeper themes. We're already exploring, generational trauma, but we're also exploring the idea of being chosen, and we're exploring, like you brought up earlier, that conversation with Gary Dillahunt's character at the ranch talking about colonization, and
that was a good scene. And I don't know who the actor is. He looks familiar. Whoever the actor was,
you've probably seen Gary Dillahunt in something for sure. You probably have.
He looked mad familiar. I was like, okay, he looks very familiar. But I liked what he was doing in that scene. That was a good scene.
You got, obviously we get racial commentary themes, of what it is to be a black man, to get something with so much responsibility versus a white man, given that responsibility. How easy is that given? How hard is that earned? And things like that. And I think those are interesting themes. Will they be the main purpose of this story? I actually don't know, because like you watch something like Watchmen, you're like, yeah, that's exactly the take he was doing. But this isn't Watchmen. This is Lanterns. This is a Green Lantern show. And so like, is that stuff going to be baked in? Obviously. Will it be about that? That remains to be seen, because I highly doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think it would be, because like Watchmen, that kind of fits in that.
That's what Watchmen is. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Commentary, like yeah.
Whereas this is about a mystery going on. This is about.
Don't get me wrong. None of that shit is in the comic, but it's something that like. It's a
good angle. It's a great angle to take.
Would be in the comic if it was a different scenario. Like that being in the show isn't like exactly like, out of bounds for the comic material, for the source material. Like it's very in line.
As for the mystery at hand, we get earlier in the bar, we get Hal basically spieling his whole origin, Abensur and everything. But they specifically
Can we talk about that, by the way? Because during that whole sequence, I don't know if it was just me. All I could think about was the opening of Green Lantern 2011.
Wait, why?
Because that's the opening of the movie. Like that's the origin. Yes, that's his origin. Yeah. Like, but I could just. But it's so vivid in my memory. The pink lantern bleeding with the ring, and it's like, to me in my memory, dude. I don't know why. When I was a kid, to me that scene was like vivid to me when I was a kid. So when he started talking about that shit, I was like.
But yeah, I think he brings up an interesting point, and this is what I'm interested in. This is what caught my like. Don't get me wrong. Are they giving us everything to be like to theorize? No. But what caught my attention was him saying that ship crashed in Nebraska and he was killed. That means he was killed in Nebraska. And then flash forward to 2026, Hal is killed in Nebraska. Is it
in case you didn't know that he was killed in Nebraska? He has a bullet in his head, and he's frozen to death. In case you didn't know. And he's sitting in the stand.
It makes me wonder,
just like fucking
what's with the whole, it seems like a weird consistency now. The Green Lanterns are killed in Nebraska. Specifically, obviously we see at the end, Hal doesn't have his ring. Obviously, Abensur, his ring, chose Hal in Nebraska, all that stuff. And I'm curious how these lines converge and what exactly is
Me too, because I do
here.
remember seeing something where Tom King said, like, Guy Gardner's got Hal's ring. And
he said that on the podcast. He said, Guy had the ring.
And so
why didn't John
get
the ring?
I'm like, why didn't John get it? Why does Guy have it? Like, maybe Guy's like watching over it kind of thing, or like maybe Guy chooses John in like a different timeline, or like there could be some things going on here. Is like, so again, like the sci-fi stuff, the mystery of it all, like, again, if this wasn't a mystery show, this would probably be way more boring of an episode. It's the buildup and like intrigue of knowing like, well, what is it kind of thing that makes it interesting. And I think the sci-fi of it all makes it that much more interesting, because again, if it was just a mystery, you're no different than the Yellowstones and the Reachers and the like small town mystery thing. But when it has to do with like high concepts and like sci-fi and stuff like that, it brings it to another level of like,
and it's already very
intrigue,
thematic, which I love. I love how thematic it is, and like in Lindelof fashion, this series could end up being like, people end up watching it like disliking or hating it or whatever. You weren't a fan of his Watchmen, which there's some people that weren't.
I mean, I didn't hate it. It's still good. There's just things in there that I do not like. Mainly some of the stuff we were talking about earlier, and then just some of the show format for it kind of it can be a little boring at times. But it's still a good show. I wouldn't I would never concede on that. Like that's not a bad show at all. Like that's not even an average show. Like it's still top tier performances. great writing, like all
Regina King's
throughout.
good
Just
in
certain
that
things
show.
that I'm just
So
like,
good.
okay.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this though. I'm here week to week for it. And hopefully each episode's better than the last. I know, like, we all wish that for every show ever. But, with this whole mystery thing going on, with the showrunners and everything saying, it gets more. It gets more. And actually, like, I'm not gonna lie, thinking about the trailers that we've seen now, like, I'm getting like really excited because I'm like, this shit is already like really compelling. I'm like, wait, like they go to like the fucking like like prison in this show, and I'm like, hold on, like now I'm even
not gonna
more
get my
like,
hopes up because I can already see that a lot of the Lantern stuff is sparing.
of
We're not
course,
gonna
yes,
get
I'm
any
not
like
expecting.
we're just not gonna get any like elongated sequences with these like heavy sci-fi elements and stuff. So
We'll
I'm not
see.
gonna put
What
my
if that happens,
expectations there. If it happens there, you might see me rate the episode an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Like,
what
right
gets
now.
a 10?
Like, what gets a 10?
Out of you, yeah.
Very fucking few episodes that have ever existed. Episode 5 of X-Men 97, season 1.
Would you rate any MCU
the
show
Fly
episode
of
10?
Breaking Bad?
Would you?
The Fly episode?
No, that was Rage Bait. I'm not gonna lie, that was Rage Bait.
The Fly episode.
Would you rate any MCU shows? 10 episodes?
Definitely. There's definitely some low key episode. I mean, that final.
Some? Maybe.
That final low key. Not
the finale, really? Like, I thought episode 4 of Loki was the best.
The finale episode
for
season 2 was amazing.
Oh, that finale was so good.
Fucking incredible.
That finale was so
And then Wonder
good.
Man, I really like that first
I don't know if I'd rate
Wonder
any of
Man.
those a 10.
Me either, but I really like that first episode. Yeah, other than that, I mean, maybe WandaVision maybe there's a 10 in there somewhere.
5 or how many? That was 8.
Maybe one of the earlier episodes. There's some episode. There's an episode in there it's like fire. So I mean, I don't just give 10s. Like
amazing.
Again, for something to be a 10 for me, like a perfect episode,
it's got to have you hooked.
Yeah, and it's hard for in Lanterns' field where the episodes are like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like close to an hour, and it's like, okay, for a 10 episode, an hour long episode to be a 10 for me, like you got to be cooking, yeah. Like you got to be cooking crazy. Yeah. So, but yeah, this wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't crazy good to me. Like it was like just fine, decent, like good little appetizer and a starting point for the series.
Then you could rate it at 10.
I'm intrigued when it comes to the mystery of it all, on the sci-fi elements. I'd like to see more from Jon Stewart and Hal in that relationship. I'm gonna see where that stuff goes, and if the characters grow on me over time. But yeah, it was decent. It wasn't anything bad. Again, like first episode, we just getting settled in. I'm not gonna have like crazy expectations for it, and I'm also not gonna be like crazy on it. Like of the first episode of the series, like again, if this was like penultimate, maybe the 6th episode, yeah, okay, now shit hitting the fan. Now you starting to get a real serious critic here and stuff like that. But first episode, it was decent. I'll rate it like a 6.5 out of 10.
6.5. Yeah.
Like a 3.5.
3.5.
Out of 3.5 out of 5, 6.5 out of 10, kind of sort of deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Just the dynamic between John and Hal, already they're cooking. I can't wait to see more of them and like how it plays with these different timelines with the mystery at hand. Very True Detective. And yeah, I'm just locked in every week. The mystery is getting intriguing. It set all the table work, and the way it ended is just that's like a mic drop. You're either sticking in with the show to find out, or you're like, it's making some Hal Jordan fans turn off the TV. Okay. So like, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think for a pilot, really, really good. I posted it. I would give it like an 8 out of 10. Think it's a really, really great pilot, but not like peak. Like some people are like calling it peak and like 10 out of 10. I'm like, we think like, come on, like we've seen like even in the comic book show space, we've seen peak 10 out of 10 episodes. This is not
especially pilot
peak.
episodes. I feel like a lot of these comic book shows we be watching, even when we be like, it was mid, it was whatever. I feel like a lot of them be having like a crazy ass good first episode.
I feel like they just throw a lot of spectacle, and that's cool. But you know, in terms of like how good a pilot is, this is one of the better.
Episode is like 35 minutes long.
That's what I mean.
You
You're
have spectacle throughout. Like, yeah, it's cool. Gonna be it's gonna be a top tier episode. To me, this was just like, it was okay. This episode was like, it clearly is like,
I think it's just got such good, like, it's rich.
It clearly is like the appetizer. Like, I can't.
Yes.
And I'm just not.
And that's why I can't give it over an 8 because I think it's great.
Like,
but I can't. You know, this is table setting. We're not even.
Listen, I think however
like,
you felt about the trailers and however you felt about the show going in to the show, I don't think your mind is gonna change after this first episode. I think it's gonna like, but I don't think this first episode is gonna. But I don't think this first episode is gonna like reinforce what you were thinking.
Yeah, you're not gonna be like they hate Green Lantern. Like they hate the Green Lantern mythos. No, like they're like it's there. Like they're not off it. They're not shying away from it. It's just the scenario. And I do think
now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to paint this episode like it's fucking fire as hell, and like they haven't seen a fucking good episode of a fucking TV show before. Obviously not, since they're sitting here lining up some bullshit like Welcome to Derry.
You
so
can,
obviously not.
You
they
can
haven't.
definitely see.
So
no gatekeep, by the way. I don't want to sound pretentious, but you can.
Yeah.
You can tell there are certain people that only watch TV when it's cape shit. Like you can tell. It's like,
and that's fine.
Because they're so hyperbolic. It's either this was peak. Look at I'm trying to like fit in with the
fine.
Cool
and
kids.
even for heavy critics,
like
there's stuff to like about this show, especially when it comes to the more like script and like writing choices and stuff like that. But yeah, I think to me it just feels like crumbs. This first episode to me, like just crumbs, and then wiping the plate clean. Gotta wipe the plate clean and go get seconds. You feel me? Not the plate fully loaded. Not a mac and cheese.
This shit came right off the shit. It wasn't just the shit under the light on the buffet. They just brought out the
beans touching the roll and shit. Now you getting different flavors. Oh shit, they done brought out catfish. Twist and turn crazy. Whoa, they done brought out catfish. Plate look whole different now. Yeah, to me, it's just crumbs. Is decent starting point. Like, okay, let's see where it goes.
Yeah, those were our thoughts on the premiere for Lanterns. If you got a chance to see it, please let us know your thoughts. Hopefully you did, because we just straight up fucking spoiled. like we just straight up fucking spoiled shit in this.
The good thing about it is that there's not much to spoil about this episode. I can't say that about episodes.
Thankfully the revelations in here aren't too drastic.
But I could imagine in these some of these future episodes, maybe there would be some things that's like, okay, if you haven't seen this episode, click off of this, like, or go watch the episode and come back type thing. But
that was our review. Those were our scores. Let us know though down below in the comments your thoughts on the Lanterns premiere. But that's gonna do it for this episode of the Double Feature Podcast. This was a beefy one. This was a long one. Talked a lot. Also, as always, any of these topics, let us know what you think about them. And if you made it this far and you haven't, like literally, what the fuck? Like 2 hours.
My ass is literally hurting. I know your ass is hurting. My ass is killing me right now. My tailbone is like screaming for help right now. Like,
yeah, just please do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, click the bell. They're notified every time we upload it. We're here every time for Lanterns. Well, obviously, if there's a movie. We're watching a movie this week, so definitely we'll be reviewing that on here. So stick around. We're gonna be here, but do us that favor. It would be greatly appreciated. But other than that, guys, it's been your boy KEIZI.
Your boy KELZ.
Hopefully we see you all in the next one.